fighting insanity. I saw congregating, I saw turning tide, seducing him with kisses, flattery and sorry.
Good to see you again, Tobias.
Good to see you too. It's very nice.
So it's 25 years since we started a band together.
It's insane. Yes.
Yeah, that's a
And
quarter of a
it's
century.
24 years since we quit that lineup, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
But we're still alive. So, I mean, I asked all of the old members how we started, and I got different stories from everyone. It's like 96 is not that long ago. It shouldn't be lost in legend and song.
No.
So what would you say happened, Matthias? How did this start?
I remember, I believe that you and me was at the Pentecostal church in Nybro.
Okay.
And we spoke to Tobias and Henrik
Yeah.
about music. We just shared a common interest in music. And then a little bit later, I believe you and me were playing in another church with Magnus.
I wasn't playing. You were
Okay,
playing.
only me, because you
with,
didn't play
with
anything.
Olof and
Rickard?
so they had double drummers.
Yeah, they had double drummers and two guitars. And then I believe Magnus Bergström asked me to, we are starting a band in Nybro. Maybe you want to join? And for some reason you got involved too, Carl. I don't know.
Yeah.
2 for the price of 1.
Yeah,
So-
like this.
So what's your view on it, Tobias? How did it start?
I don't. Yes, I agree with that view that Matthias says. We were in. Me and Henrik was talking a lot about starting a band, but we needed guitarists and we needed vocalists, and then somehow
You got neither.
Yeah, we did. But somehow Magnus had. He was the. I'm not sure what it's called. He was like the link between you and us.
Yeah.
He just tipped us off with that information. So I just think we sat down and talked about what we wanted to do. And you asked us what our vision was, and I don't think we had any. We just wanted it to be fast and hard, you know.
That's nothing just about that. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was really a lot of mix, because I believe Henrik was into punk rock, and me and Carl, of course, were into thrash metal, death metal stuff. Magnus was more like into classic heavy metal, hard rock. So I don't know what you were into, but it was really a mix of everything.
Oh, you were into Vengeance Rising.
Yeah, Vengeance Rising. That was my. I love them. And also, I discovered Doom somewhere around that. I think.
So the way I remember it, the thing that Matthias told me about them playing in the other Pentecostal church, I had kind of forgot that, but it started to come back. but the way I remember it, you and Magnus and Henrik was playing like Jerusalem stuff with some other guys in the Pentecostal church.
Oh, we did? I don't remember.
Yeah,
But might be.
and then you were supposed to be the opening act for some pop rock band coming from Karlskrona playing in your church.
Yeah, that was Captain Cork, I think.
Captain Cork.
Yes,
Cork.
and
Yes.
somehow you scared those other guys off. And then it was just 5 weeks to the gig, and then you asked,
Right.
or Magnus asked Matthias and for us both, and I was like, I can't sing, but I wanted to, so we. But the weird thing is, the way I remember it, this came from Magnus. Like you lost your guys, and Magnus was asking us. If you look at what Magnus is writing, he is like, the other guys left, and you said to Magnus that you knew some guys who were into metal, and then he was totally surprised when we came.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Did he say that?
Yeah. So and he was like, oh, because he thought you were talking about some people and did not know, and then you invited us, and he was like, oh, it's those guys. Those are in my gang. But the way I remember it was he was asking us.
Yeah.
So it's very confusing.
Yes.
All I remember is that the show was scheduled long before we had any songs.
Yeah, 5 weeks.
And I remember Magnus had, I believe he learned a Mortification song.
Yeah.
And he used a drop E flat tuning with only 1/2 step down on the low string, and for me this was really strange.
Yes.
But
it's still strange.
It's still strange because drop D is very common, but
Yeah.
drop E flat is I don't know. But
I remember that you, Tobias, you were not satisfied unless the strings were going like this.
You had to wobble them like this.
But we tried a drop A tuning once, I believe, but it was almost impossible.
We had that first gig, and I tried to stay within some kind of thrash metal vocal range, and it was horrible. And I heard the recording, and I decided never again.
I
then I tried to let my inner beast out, and got better.
I remember when you said that, Carl. I remember that you were specific about I can't sing. Just so you know, I don't sing. That's not what I do. And we were like, okay,
well,
there might be other options.
Like, yeah. Well, regular song is for regular people.
Yeah.
But it's weird how fast things could be back in those days. I mean, 5 weeks from when we started to the first gig.
Yeah. It was not a long gig, but it was a gig, and it was not well played, but
but I mean, we need 5 weeks to decide for a rehearsal date, and then that is postponed to 4 weeks later. We would have missed our own gig by 2 months.
Yeah, that's the adult life for you. Yeah, but I don't recall how many songs we played, but it was like 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah, I believe
we played. I think we played Crusade for the King.
Yes, we did.
Lord of Lords and King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
Yes.
Glory, hallelujah.
And I think also didn't Magnus write a rock song called Vanity?
I don't know if he had that. I think that's.
I remember now because I believe he had.
No One to Fear.
No One to Fear, but he also wrote a ballad.
The ballad, yeah.
Yeah, it was Vanity or something. Yeah,
but
I remember that.
That did not appear until the second gig. I think the first gig we had No One to Fear, and that's it. When it come to our own material.
Maybe.
But I
and we had
forgot that
Yeah.
that song. It's correct.
vanity.
Was that for December 13th? Wasn't it like well, I don't know the English word, Lucia?
Did we
Lucia in-
start playing on a Friday 13th? Or was it a Saturday?
I hope it was a Friday.
Pentecostal church had a youth gathering each Friday evening, and I know you were there at
Yeah.
least one time.
Oh, it's shrouded in mystery, all of this, but somehow we started, and it's 25 years ago.
Yeah,
I remember almost each song had a different musical style because everyone wanted. I want to play this. No, I want to play this. I want to play this. It was all over the place. As long as it had fast drums and distorted guitars, then it was a good song.
that we could unite around that at least.
Yeah, it at least it was rock music
Yes.
in some way.
I believe that you, Tobias, you wanted to make a video where we would scratch ourselves out of coffins.
Out of what?
Out of a casket, a coffin.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, like with claws on the fingers, and let's just scratch our way into freedom. Because you had that Vengeance Rising video, and they opened the lid and jumped out of a coffin, but that wasn't cool enough. We needed to scratch through the top of it, and there was a lot of scratching.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember I wanted a lot of those things. It kind of grew on me. And then I remember that, but that was later. I wrote some lyrics and I gave them to you, Carl, and you were like,
I don't want to sing this.
I don't know about this.
I think that might be the Holy Matrimony lyrics. They were horrible. I mean, it was not bad writing. It's not that. It was just a horrible vision.
Yeah.
I think some girl was like raped and ritually sacrificed to Satan.
I'm not,
or something like that. And the last,
I remember that.
It's
and there was a description of his stinking breath. That's important. His stinking breath. That was the last thing she experienced on this side. When the curtains fall, I think is the name of the song. Because he goes into glory after the horrible end.
Yeah, I still have those lyrics actually. In
maybe you should have written lyrics for Slayer instead of Pantocrator.
But I knew I wanted a twist for it. I was kind of into revenge stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was watching The Crow a lot. You know the movie.
Oh yeah.
And it was all about
wonderful movie.
Yeah. And it was all about corpse paint and vengeance. But I never got there, so it was kind of like
The Crow.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's a good one.
I'm not sure how I ended up there with those impressions. I don't know.
It's still a mystery how these different memories really go together, but it's not that far off anyway. It's like
no, I mean. I guess everyone still has some kind of mental images of and stuff that kind of stuck out from that history.
Everyone knows that me and Matthias was asked, but the difference is by whom.
Yeah.
And everyone knows.
I know by who, because I was asked by Magnus.
Yeah, but according to Magnus, it's another story. So, yeah, I know. I was also asked by Magnus, or through you, I think, by Magnus.
Yeah, maybe through me. Yeah.
And when we tried to compare, we were talking, me and Matthias, a while ago, trying to compare these different narratives, and then it seems like the when they played in the other Pentecostal church with double drummers and like a tourniquet song, I think that might have been the audition for Matthias, but he didn't know that because Magnus, they played together and then he asked like some days later or something
I
like that.
believe that
Ah.
was my audition for Magnus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a weak memory of Magnus telling me and Henrik something about, well, he know a guitarist but he didn't know how well he could play, and but he's going to play with him at some point, and he'll get back to us on how that went.
That's probably me.
But the weird thing is here that in Magnus' memory, you bring us and he is surprised.
I don't recall me calling you.
No.
I don't recall that.
And the thing that you said, that we were like long before this band was formed, we were talking about like how cool would it be,
Yeah.
And over way too much coffee and way too late in the
Yeah.
Pentecostal Church of Nybro. I don't think we get much further on the origin story.
No, that's you hit the wall there.